At the peak of his success, Thom Yorke went silent. In 1997, his band was on top of the musical mountain with an art rock masterpiece, but all he could think is that guitar music was dead. And now the world was waiting for their next album, and he had nothing. Every recording session was a failure. They went back again and again. The band was split. Some wanted to make guitar-based music that made them famous. Others thought Radiohead might be done. Then Thom Yorke disappears into a country house with a piano, and he walks out with the kernel of an idea, the start of an album that would define the decade and predict the future. This is Kid A. I'm Adam Maness.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Music Explored.
Explored, brought to you today by Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com for all your jazz lesson needs. Peter,
Yes.
big day?
Well, I was going to ask you, I thought you might say biggest day.
Am I shaking right now? I'm shaking a little bit.
You've been like, electric all day, scurrying around here like an exennial.
My skin has been buzzing.
Your skin is
all
glowing.
Week. Everything feels more vibrant. The colors of the trees are unbelievable right now.
Well, it's spring. That sort of just happened.
Don't yuck on my yum, buddy. I feel like my feet hasn't touched the floor since Monday morning.
Yeah.
Peter, I am so stoked that we are listening to Radiohead's 2000 masterpiece, Kid A. Buddy, this record for me is so important. It's a huge album in my life.
Yeah.
Huge album in my life.
I'm so excited to experience this with you. We've been talking about this, but it's such a joy to have. And I know this is not your only record.
No, not at all. Man, it was like, I was just not so knocked over by this. I was 20. I didn't have I hadn't listened to as much music as I'd listened to now.
Yeah.
And it was the fact that a band could change this much. Like this band changed from what they started with, thinking about Creep and all this stuff from when I was driving around High Ridge.
Creep.
And now I'm walking down 22nd Street. Yeah, that's a good Creep. I'm walking down 22nd Street and I've got, Morning Bell going in my ears. And I'm like, what is happening? What is happening? This is amazing.
Would you say, did it maybe subconsciously open up the when you're 20 years old, we always feel that like 1 minute we're like, the world is everything. The next minute we're like, I'm done. Everything's too late. But did it open up sort of musical or artistic possibilities?
Yes.
Like, did you feel like, oh my God, the mountain is like the clouds cleared. The mountain is way bigger than I thought it was.
For sure. I mean, first of all, just the feeling tone of this, the melancholic tone of this had been ringing in my ears from people like Elliott Smith, from people like Brad Meldau, who I was already a massive fan of, who we'll talk about as well, has a Radiohead thing too. Stereolab, people like that have this sort of like bittersweetness about their music. This is like the ultimate melancholy album. This is like the ultimate rainy day driving around at night album. This is if you are down, you put it on and you either feel more down or you're like, okay, well, at least other people have been down. You feel like the connection to humanity through it. And then also,
the connection, absolutely.
100%. Even though it's an album with a lot of machines.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's a very human story that is being told musically here.
Yeah.
And then also some nerdy music things. I'm a harmony geek, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that Stevie Wonder informed my sort of taste of modal interchange, this has a whole other thing of modal interchange, which I'll go into nerdy stuff later about what that is. But they use it a lot different. They use it more like Schumann or Brahms or someone like that. And it works in this way, or like John Williams, like that feeling, right?
Yeah.
And man, I was like, how can a rock band do this? And be so popular. It was really, it's kind of like how when we talk about Steely Dan, like, how do they keep getting away with putting these jazzy chords in these huge pop songs?
Right.
And with this, I feel like, how do they keep getting away with this? Like,
Right.
They're putting actual interesting stuff in the harmony. And as a harmony nerd, I was just like elated about this album.
Oh, that's so great. So I was 30 or nearly 30, maybe 29. No, that's not right. Wait, 2000? Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And when this record came out, I did not go out to I didn't even notice it for some reason, for whatever reason. And so I did hear it some and I was aware of it, but mainly because of Brad Meldau.
You're already a jazz superstar at that point.
I was not a jazz, I was sort of at the tail end of my like hardcore. I don't know. I was a few years past that. I was playing a lot of music. I was recording, and it wasn't that I wasn't still exploring stuff, but it was like a big deal. I wasn't exploring everything that came out. But what I'm so excited today, and I have been listening to this record the last few days, but I kind of backed off a little bit. I've heard the whole thing a couple times, but I sort of backed off because I wanted to experience it sort of as my guide. And I think that can be for a lot of people because we think, look, we know there's going to be a lot of people on here that like, this is my jam, or like, it's not as good as OK Computer or whatever. Like, there's a lot of exposure.
Oh, there's going to be a ton of argument in the comments about what the best Radiohead is. Yes. Okay. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's start with the start of it. So I was around for all of these. The very first Radiohead album, that was really on our radars, at least, was an album called Pablo Honey. Came out in 1993, and it produced this...
That's when Pablo Escobar came on the scene, too, I believe.
Pablo Honey produced, like, what some might call the white people anthem.
Right.
Patrice O'Neill might call the white people anthem.
Oh, Sweet Caroline, gotcha.
It's Creep. You probably heard it.
Yeah.
It's their first big hit. It was a huge hit. When you were before. It's an unbelievable song. It's a great album, actually, but it sounds a lot like all the other stuff that's going on around there, right? It sounds a lot like all of the alternative, not all of it, but in a vein of the alternative music, especially coming out of Great Britain at that time.
Would it be considered alternative rock, or was that later they called it?
No, it's definitely alt-rock, for sure. Some people have defined Radiohead as art rock. I think that becomes more obvious as they continue.
And maybe with Kid A, a little bit of precursors to math rock. We're going to talk about that, maybe?
Ooh.
No?
A little bit. Here's the part everybody wants to hear.
Oh, yeah.
You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep.
There we go.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen, there's a great clip on YouTube of comedian R.I.P. Patrice O'Neill riffing on Creep. It's just look it up. It's unbelievable. Okay, I'm driving around. I wasn't even driving yet. I was just like a 8th grader coming into freshman year, going to marching band camps and being in the back of old Honda Civics while people were shooting darts out of the front seat. And I'm like, am I a grown-up? I don't know what's going on. 95, though, I'm well into high school, and this comes out. This is from the Bends. Bends is an unbelievable album. Great songs. This is High and Dry. Another big song for them. They're already a very popular band at this point.
These were like #1 hits, right?
I don't think these were #1 hits, but they were
big hits.
They were big hits. I'm not sure about that,
Rock
actually.
hits.
Yeah.
This is 95?
95. Okay. Beautiful melodies. Thom Yorke, who's the lead singer, has a very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
It's kind of brittle. It's actually
not
more
quite falsetto, but it's upper range, right? Is that considered falsetto? Falsetto?
It's not really falsetto.
No.
It's kind of like a mixed voice, but he's just got a real delicate, brittle quality to it that has a lot of that pathos,
Yeah.
Okay.
Ethos as well.
So
that was 95.
That was 95. Yep. 97 comes out, and all of a sudden, everybody who is into Radiohead and into music in general is like, here's Radiohead's album, OK Computer, and it's like, oh, something's happening. Something is changing. This is different. And you can kind of tell on this track, Paranoid Android. First, the name alone. Paranoid Android starts with that electronic sound.
Right, but then goes right to the guitar.
There's like computer voices on this album.
Right.
It's kind of the first taste of a real dystopian or like skeptical look at the future.
Yeah.
This melody. That harmony, very hip.
Program drums really well. That's program, right? So good.
I don't know.
Man, the mix.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
put some headphones on for this.
Shout out to
boy.
Nigel Godrich.
Yeah. God tier.
God tier. No. I mean, that we're getting into.
Yeah.
that sort of Stevie Wonder harmonic territory of like the voice leading inside of all these things is like, you're like, oh, there's some real sophistication happening.
Yeah.
This isn't just like, no offense to like someone like The Offspring or something like that, other alternative rock where it's like, okay, we're putting some power chords together, or maybe there's some like droning stuff. This is like, holy smokes, there's some real like, dare I say, English harmonic sophistication, a la Benjamin Britten and people like that happening. Same album, this happens, and I just want to play exit music for a while. This would end up at the end of a couple films, as would a cover I'm about to play. This is still from OK Computer, still from 1997.
This is called exit music for a film, right?
Yeah, and it might as well be
the title.
That's the title. Exit music for a film. Might as well be Chopin, honestly.
Yep. Is that Yorke on guitar or the other guy?
I doubt it. Maybe.
From your sleep, the drying of your tears. Today we escape. We escape.
Sus.
Mm-hmm.
Picardy?
Major, right.
I'll do one more verse just to get to this part where you can see the harmonic sophistication blooming even more. It just, you can hear them growing.
Yeah.
Every album is getting a little bit more rich. The textures are getting a little bit harmonically, not just like production-wise, which is also happening.
Yeah.
But in the music itself and the depth of the songwriting.
Yeah, and the texture of his voice.
Oh, exquisite. Even he's not like, the world's greatest singer.
But it's so
gorgeous. It's some kind of like some kind of synth vocal thing. Oh, is that the
synclavier?
No, maybe. What's the white one with the tapes? Like a little tape machine. Okay.
Beautiful. Man, there's elements, and we're going to hit this on Kid A too, I was thinking about with Thom Yorke's voice. He's always doing the lead vocals, right?
Yeah.
Fado, I believe I'm saying this correctly, the Portuguese style of music.
Yeah.
I think Fado, or maybe it's Fajol. I apologies in advance.
No worries.
Obrigado. But it's a beautiful style of music that goes back hundreds of years. And I know it influenced some, up in what became the UK, and I don't know exactly how that happened. But Fado I think it basically means sad.
Yeah.
And this music is so beautiful, but it's all got this very, I don't want to say morose, because I think morose means something a little different.
Melancholy is a great word.
Melancholy.
There's a feeling of just like,
yeah. But even if you don't hear, and when I'm hearing Fado, I don't understand the lyrics because they're in Portuguese, but I don't understand a lot of. Well, in this I hear when we're getting into Kid A.
Kid A is hard to understand,
but you feel it in his voice.
Yeah, you get
and then the harmony, which you've been pointing out, is so. But it's got this tinge of like melancholy has of optimism.
Yeah,
which was like these unexpected majors and stuff when you think it's going to go to minor.
100%. There's a lot of hope in the melancholy, which is interesting. I brought out exit music there from OK Computer because that came out in 1997. I was, a senior in high school. Yeah. And my hero at that time, besides yours truly, my co-host here, was Brad Mehldau. Yeah. Like, I was a young jazz pianist. I was playing on the scene here in Willie Aiken's band in St. Louis. I was obsessed with Brad Mehldau.
That was his Warner Brothers days.
Well, he's in the height of like the Art of the Trio.
Yeah.
On Art of the Trio, Volume 3, 1998, he covers exit music.
Right.
And this is when my ears perked up a little bit of like, oh wait, if this incredible, sophisticated jazz pianist that I know knows his shit thinks that this rock band's music is good enough to put on one of these albums, it kind of elevates it for me. Like, it's kind of like an endorsement from a really keen expert on the music.
Yeah, validates.
And not only that, but this is absolutely gorgeous, this cover of it. It's 100% beautiful, as is all of the Art of the Volume trios. We got to do Art of the Volume trios.
Is this from the Vanguard?
No, this is a Studio One, Art of the Volume trio. I think this is one of the studio ones.
I remember hearing him play this at the Vanguard, though. Live.
It was in a set. He also, by the way, he covers
Larry.
He covers Paranoid Android quite a bit, Brad Mehldau. He's got a great arrangement of this. As do a lot of people, which we're going to find out. Yeah. Okay, so here's...
Man, he did the Paranoid Android on the... was it live in Tokyo? That long version of it is great.
Hey, if you love sitting with an album, really hearing it, Open Studio is where we go deeper. We've got lessons, courses, and a community of musicians who love this stuff as much as you. Come find us at openstudiojazz.com. That's openstudiojazz.com. That's openstudiojazz.com for all your jazz lesson needs. Back to the show. So OK Computer was this major success. It was a critic's darling. It was a commercial success. Some critics called it the album that saves rock, which is going to be ironic here in a minute. And there were really, really high expectations for Radiohead's next album.
And it was their biggest hit until, except for Creep.
But it was a huge hit. It was a huge hit,
right?
And this, along with like a grueling touring schedule, was too much for Thom Yorke at the time. In November 1997, after performing a show in Birmingham, England, he had a breakdown. His bandmates asked him if he was okay. Thank you. But he couldn't respond. He said, I always assumed that it was success was going to answer something, fill a gap. I was so driven for so long, like a fucking animal. And then I woke up one day and someone had given me a little gold plate for OK Computer, and I couldn't deal with it for ages. I mean, we've heard this story before of like, you think it's going to fill the hole.
Right.
And it doesn't fill the hole.
Oh, only one gold plate?
No.
It's not platinum.
But everybody who hasn't had, monster hit albums is like, well, let me find out for myself.
That's right, right.
By the time they sat
hey, buddy, being rich is hard. Really?
Let me see. Yeah. By the time they sat down to write their next album, Yorke's breakdown had become a creative block. He actually had writer's block for 2 years. Here's Thom talking about it a little bit.
That's rich people's problem.
At the end of OK Computer, we finished touring, and I was sort of trapped in a series of in my own particular labyrinth, and followed by this weird sort of monologue, criticism, everything I did, which became from being sort of propelled into this weird state where people were projecting things onto me in a particular way, which I didn't have the right sort of support mechanism to deal with it, and so I internalized a lot of it, and it sort of kind of shut me down. And so whenever I tried to write something, whenever I sat in front of any instrument, I sort of froze. I had this sort of thing in the way, this little voice going. I remember sitting endlessly playing the riff for Everything in Its Right Place, like a sort of trying to meditate my way out of it and not being able to, until eventually I'd sort of stopped for a while. We were in Cornwall a lot, and I was walking around
Cornwall, beautiful,
absorbing the landscape, being in the sea a lot, and I just started drawing and absorbing the landscape. And
what an English thing to do. Sorry.
Everything
doesn't happen? No, yeah, it's right there.
It's a little kick.
But that's been there since the very beginning. It's the second measure. Pull back.
Filters open.
Pulls back.
It's a 10 beat cycle here.
Yeah. I always hear it as 5. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5.
1,
Yeah.
2. But yeah,
It's a
with the
masterpiece,
bass
man.
drum.
This was made by just Tom and Nigel Godrich. I should say before we go too far, Radiohead is Thom Yorke on vocals, keys, bass, synth, Johnny Greenwood on lead guitar, Colin Greenwood on bass, Ed O'Brien on guitar and backing vocals, and Phil Selway on the drums and drum machine. And really the huge part of the band is Nigel Godrich. Another huge part of the band is artist Stanley Donwood, who has done all of their cover art, plus like, it's not just, we'll get into the art later, the accoutrements. It's unreal how much art is involved with each one of these, especially later albums, but especially this period, Kid A and Amnesiac.
Which one of the Greenwood boys did, the Greenwood brothers did the PTA?
So Johnny Greenwood is frequently
That's
a
John.
collaborator with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Okay.
Most recently did One Battle After Another, but has also done the scores for Phantom Thread, for There Will Be Blood. He's an amazing musician. Him and Tom are an incredible duo. And then, but honestly, the whole rest of the band. I mean, Ed O'Brien is amazing. Phil Selway's amazing. Like Colin, they're all great artists in their own right.
And has the personnel stayed? I know they all went to like prep school together, right?
It's all stayed the same. It's all stayed the same, which is great. Okay, I have some things queued up here that I want to play. Mostly.
And did you say Tom did the whole? He was the only one involved with that first track.
Tom and Nigel.
And Nigel. Okay.
Yeah. So I want to get into here. Ooh. All this stuff going
Menacing.
on. Back it up just a little bit. So these are all the background vocals with effects and things.
Yeah. Some vocoder on there, right?
I don't know what they're using, honestly. I know they had a whole bunch of
envelope.
It gives the whole album, all of these things, especially this track, it gives those sort of like background synth samples. They're using a lot of samples.
Yeah.
They have that pad, that synth pad where Johnny Greenwood live will be affecting Thom Yorke's voice as they're going. But it just makes for such a rich palette. Let's hear that kick drum.
Oh, it's heartbeat.
That's it. Right. This is all it does.
But think about that speed, like it being a heartbeat. It's not like boom, boom, but it's also not a like it's going. It's telling you about something that's going to happen, you know? Like you're a little bit on alert.
It feels like, and especially in 2000, I mean, this is definitely one of those albums that we
just made it past Y2K, barely.
Yeah, but it's one of those albums that has been so influential on a whole generation of musicians that we just take it for granted, these kinds of sounds, but it was, at least in the popular culture, not certainly in like electronic music circles. A lot of these things were already a bit dated that they were doing. Yeah. But like in popular music, Radiohead as a band really brought this over the finish line with Kid A into the mainstream consciousness, especially the way that they used it. This song, Everything in Its Right Place, has been covered again by Brad Mehldau. This is Gillen.
That's Larry, right?
Yeah. Jazz musicians love Radiohead, by the way. That's Larry Grenadier on bass. Jeff Ballard on drums.
Ballard. Oh, he's got the C extension going on the E string.
This is from Anything Goes, the album. Anything Goes, Brad Mehldau Trio. Larry's such a monster, man. What a musician.
A little crossover with Brown Sugar. He played on that as well.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah, the C is strong. Ha! Baby. Yeah, it's good. Woo! It's a little bit slower.
A little bit slower.
Yeah.
So that's Brad Mehldau. Also, another great Gen X jazz pianist has covered this in a very interesting way in a mashup with Herbie Hancock's Main Voyage. This is Robert Glasper.
Pitch Perfect, shout out.
This is from his Blue Note album, In My Element, which is a very, very good album. Let's take it up to D, eh?
I never noticed. So he took this from 5 and put it in 6. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's great.
Pretty creative.
You know, one thing, like you were showing, I was just wondering if we could hear the original just for a second, because rhythmic, like when you broke it down with all the stuff happening in there, and then harmonically, you know, how it's setting the tone for what is to come, and just such a vibe. There's something I just noticed as we listen to it rhythmically with that big 5, if you feel it like that, that I think is just genius, because there's a lot of anticipation.
Yeah.
And so with that, like, of course, the bass drum is very...
It's holding it down.
Yeah, but if you play it again, I think... 2.
It's a Prophet 5
3.
synthesizer, by the way.
Oh, Prophet, yeah. 5, 1, 2. But you get... Boom, 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 boom. Like there's that constant syncopation, and of course, like there's kind of a like there's the stability, but then there's the movement. You know, like the pushing forward of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then because there's no drums on this, and you keep thinking it's gonna be
And it's not. Yeah.
It doesn't need that.
But
the way it builds, you know, the harmony and the rhythmic. And then the very simple melodic turns and movements.
See if we can catch some of those background vocals.
It's almost like on a like on a turntable. I always thought that was Kid A, but I don't think that's what he's saying.
It sounds like Kid A.
Maybe it's Kid A.
Yeah. It's barely hanging on by
yeah.
The cracks.
Yeah.
They're going to come back in.
Man, this is...
So this Prophet too, you know, they're just going to open up the filter.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that sound is kind of backwards looking, right?
Yeah.
That's like mid 70s, late 70s. Like, but to me, this record, like as I was listening to it the last few days, not only did it sort of take me back to the early 2000s, but I think this is like was a record that was really looking forward. I mean, there's sounds, certainly electronic sounds that they're sourcing from the past, but I think this is like, this has a lot of angst and like, you know, kind of surveillance society,
It kind of
political
predicts
upheaval.
the future a little
Yes,
bit.
it really does.
Environmentalism.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then we think, oh, that's been
Corporatism.
around forever. No, not really. But a foreboding kind of environmentalism.
Digital corporatism is in
Yes.
this. It's
Yeah.
all part of it. And it started
Machine.
with OK Computer for sure, but this really solidified
Yeah.
that sort of oh, what are we doing? What are we walking ourselves into? Which, in 2026 feels like we're all like, let's walk right into it now.
Well, we
Here
survived
go.
it kind of, and it's getting worse.
Like the heads of tech companies like, yeah, it's probably going to kill us all. No, we're going to do it anyway.
Like, don't worry, we've got a place
We
in
got
New
it.
Zealand, a
Yeah.
doomsday shelter.
Next up is the title track. The second track is the title track. And it is, the whole album, there's no skips. This is Kid A. It's like a lullaby for a little
kid that's,
alien robot.
a kid that's been implanted with a...
I love the drums here. I think maybe modular synths? I don't know. I know there's, in the comments, let us know how often and egregious we're wrong on the technology on this.
The drum machine?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
I know Johnny Greenwood was using, at this point, I was using modular synths for stuff.
Yeah. Dystopian. That's vocoder.
Combination now of the electronic drums and Phil Selway.
That's vocoder. It's got to be, right?
I don't know. It's some kind of
sounds like
vocal
it.
effect. I think
Yeah.
it's like, I read somewhere that they had some kind of like ancient version of a vocoder, like a really old, like the first
Vocoder
version.
is ancient. They sourced in Egypt from the ground.
One thing I want to point out though is there's so much on this whole album. There's all these incredible production things happening, obviously. But the core musicality of it, the orchestration principles, even as we're swimming in waters that a lot of us might not have swam in, especially if you're 20 years old at this time. Like, there's some familiarity with how they're crafting these songs. And I think that's what really cracked the code. Like I said, some electronic musicians were nonplussed by this album because they were like, yeah, we've been making these sounds for like over a decade. This,
Right.
But I think it took a band that had already had some like, honestly, popular music success to take some of this stuff, put it together in a way that a mainstream kid from Missouri at the time could like be like, what is happening? What is this?
Right.
And then I go out and I buy a Boards of Canada album, right? Then I go get into Aphex Twin. Like it takes that big band sometimes we've seen it again and again, man, to push you over the edge on some of these sounds and be sort of like the pioneer. That song Kid A, one of my favorite covers of it is by Chris Thile and the Punch Brothers.
Yeah.
Check this out. Bluegrass Quintet. Mandolin, guitar, banjo, fiddle, bass. To give the bass that sort of like robotic.
Yeah.
tone. I think it's just brilliant. Okay, next up is the National Anthem. Really the first time we hear Colin Greenwood, the bass player, on this whole album. Also, Peter, think about how much space resides on this album.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, here's the verse, here's the chorus. It's just like a lot of...
Yeah.
We're going to sit here.
Even how they pulled out the drums for those second. Oh. And this track, I mean, the whole album with headphones. We're going to talk about that later. Incredible.
Incredible headphone album.
Yeah. The bass line is the melody, right? That's the melodic content.
We're 90 seconds in.
Wow. The publishing company, well, I see why they were sweating.
Yeah, the record company? I'm going to skip ahead just a little bit. Get some horns in here.
Oh, yeah.
I skipped ahead too far. Here we go.
Yeah. Little Barry sax.
A lot of Charles Mingus in this one.
Very Charles Mingus. And I mean, that bass line actually, like, this is now when the trombone. Do we know who this is on trombone?
No, we don't know.
He's a killing trombonist. Yeah. But like that, I remember when I was first listening to this, I was like, like there's kind of this bluesy part.
Major,
I was
minor.
like, I don't know. Yeah. But when the trombone player came in, he definitely was like, he was like, he completed that, you know.
No, Thom Yorke has said that Charles Mingus is the complete town hall concert is one of his biggest influences on the album, along with Miles Davis's Bitches Brew, which you can hear all over this as well. And he loves Alice Coltrane as well. Right. Hear all that. It's chords, man.
Pulling
crunchy
the drums
AF.
Woo. Man, is there some Flea? Flea influence, or is it the other way around?
Thom Yorke and Flea are in a band together.
Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah, so cross-pollination. That's not Flea, but
no, but I mean, that's a very Flea, like, I could totally see Flea playing that.
Coltrane. Trumper. No, but it's got that, like, that Coltrane late period.
No, I was thinking, that could be Flea too now.
We got to hear to the end. The chords at the end are unbelievable.
So
it's seriously hard not to play every second of this. I'm sorry, man. I'll try to be more efficient.
I'm here for it.
Little Eric Dolphy in there. just unleashed.
Bring the whole band back in. It's the National Anthem.
That's a bit of a Beatles thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a Sgt. Pepper's
March Out.
White Album vibe. So, Peter, what are your thoughts so far, man? I know this is kind of a bit of a discovery for you.
Yeah, I mean, I love this record. I mean, this is like
we got him.
No,
we
no,
got
no.
him. We got him.
I was a little bit.
Hey!
I wasn't unexpected because you and a couple other people that I really respect love this album and hold it in very high esteem. So I knew it was going to be great. I just didn't know if I was like. I'm telling you, it's such an exciting thing for me to, and I'm just at the beginning of exploring this. But like, you truly can have this discovery of not everything, but that's the thing. If everything is discoverable at any time, then nothing's discoverable. Yeah. But like that's the endless well of music, and I've never gotten caught up in like, oh, you haven't heard this yet? I'm like, I got a lifetime to.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like you can't.
I'm looking forward to saving stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm saving stride piano for my 80s. I love stride piano. I'm just not an expert on it,
right?
And I'm gonna get
like
there
heroin.
someday.
I'm saving to my 90s for that because I figure that's a good time.
It's a great time to do it.
But I mean, it's like, and you know what? If I don't get to some things, that's cool too. Because you know what's that?
That's nothing.
No.
Don't get the H, buddy.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying like, if there's like Brahms, I've actually heard of him. I even played some, but I don't. That's one composer that I know I like. I know I love. That I just haven't really delved into. But I'm going to.
It's fun.
You know
to
what I mean?
explore.
It is, and it's fun to be able to like look forward to something.
It's great to have friends too to recommend stuff to you.
Yeah.
And like for sure, like when you say you like something, it puts more weight on it for me. I'm like, oh, I've never really checked that out, but I'm gonna check it out. If Peter likes it, it's probably worth checking out.
Yeah. Now, I mean, and the biggest thing, like I said, I mean, this is great here and here. We have some great speakers, but they're up, like they're separated. But if you get a chance, check out this, especially if you're doing it for the first time. I was lucky that I was like, wait. When I first started listening to this the other day, I was like, let me get some good headphones. And then I went and got my better ones. And then I was like, it was like a revelation. Yeah. And I know that sounds like a nerdy thing. It's like, no, dude, you love the music even if it's coming out of an AM radio. It's but this record really, there's great stuff on it. But when you get this happening,
it's a great
It's a big part of the artistic
honestly, I think
it's
one of the reasons why it's aged so well and one of the reasons why it's so beloved is because this did come out not too far away from the release of iPods. You know what I mean?
Right.
And headphones going in. Right. I mean, I know we had Discman, and I was certainly listening to this on a Discman, but like this would have been one of the first albums I uploaded to my first iPod.
Right.
You know what I mean? And walked around listening to it digitally, which also was weird back then. It made you feel like, what's going to happen if music is free and I can just download it for free?
Well, and this is 2000.
And this is talking about it.
Right. And this is during that time when like that was already, there was so much angst about that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if they actually say it, but I could feel it on this record. I remember that time where it's like, is music going to be free? So musicians aren't going to, like, everything can be downloaded in low quality. Everything's going backwards.
Kids don't understand how much that sort of devalued.
Napster,
It devalued music and musicians because you used to have to literally own a piece of it, a physical piece of it. And it could only fit so much into your life. Literally fit it space. And all of a sudden we went overnight to, I can fit every song I've ever heard onto this little thing.
Right. But even before, this was actually before that though. This was during that time when like.
Just before.
You could download on that, like where it was like, you had to have some technology. So there was almost like an access thing too, because it was like, well, yeah, of course you could still buy it, but pretty soon you're not gonna be able to, because there was no coordination with the labels,
iTunes,
and Apple, none of that. So I mean, like there was very much a thing of like music is gonna die, and it's not gonna matter because the environment is falling apart because we don't take care of it. And if Y2K, we barely made it past that, but then the election where the Supreme Court does, I mean, there was so much crazy stuff going on there.
All right, I got some horns separated out here.
Ooh. Straight dominant seventh. Let's demonstrate a dominant seventh chord for 3 minutes. Yeah, the trombone pickup just coming as this fat Kansas City blues.
It's a good solo.
Yeah. Waiting home.
That's so good.
Man, it's like a cacophony, you know. It
is.
It's great.
I mean, it's meant to be. It's meant to be like that. Check this out too, Peter. This is just for you, buddy. This is Michel Indegliocello and Chris Dave.
Oh, I was going to say, I was like, wait, I didn't hear this song then. Is that Michelle playing? I never heard this. It's actually amazing that Radiohead stuff has been covered as much as because on first blush it's so
It seems
personal.
different, yeah.
I mean it's very like otherworldly in a way.
Yeah.
At least this record. And
So specific to the production and the
it just
synthesizers.
seems, it's
and
not the kind of thing. Do better, boy. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, don't do it like that. All right, next up is Thom Yorke's favorite song. Check this out.
If you could pick one song that you'd like to be remembered by, what
House
would it be?
Disappear off Kid A.
Why?
Because it's
just
the
threw
most
that out
beautiful
there.
thing we ever did, I think.
Is 1000% gorgeous.
Oh, inspired by REM.
That that's not me. I go where I please. I walk through walls. I float down the living. I'm not here. This isn't happening. I'm not here. I'm not here. In a little while,
It's so pretty. Strings are so pretty.
I'll be gone.
How did Coldplay not get sued for stealing this sound? Damn.
Man, listen to the other albums that were released in 2000. Eminem, the Marshall Mathers LP, Outkast, Stankonia. When's the Stankonia podcast happening, Pete? D'Angelo, Voodoo.
Voodoo, of course, 2000.
Coldplay, Parachute, JC, The Dynasty.
Nice. Joshua Redman, Beyond.
Joshua Redman,
2000.
Beyond. This climaxes to such a beautiful place.
This isn't happening.
That haunting guitar-ish, I think it's a guitar.
I'm not here. I'm not here.
Just crunchy chords everywhere. I don't want to stop, man.
Such great attention to like the big form, right? The architecture of the big
It just keeps
form.
blossoming.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to where we are now. Great choice for the strings there.
This isn't happening.
Man.
I'm not here. I'm not here.
When he goes up with it. I can't stop it, Pete. I can't stop it.
Haunting.
Unbelievable. Isn't that great?
Wow.
Unbelievable. Just so gorgeous. I get
Soulful.
why he's so proud of that. Like
Yeah.
that is harder than it looks. To do something that
Oh
is
my
that
God.
beautiful and that simple and a great song. I mean, that's a bit of a little Buddhist anthem there that apparently the rumor has it, and I'm not sure if this is totally true, but legend has it that the lyric is inspired by a mantra that REM's Michael Stipe gave Yorke to calm his anxiety on the OK Computer tour. I'm not here. This isn't happening. There's no self.
That's a good mantra.
We mentioned ambient music, and we
Mantra.
certainly get it in the next track, Treefingers, where we just chill for 3 minutes and 42 seconds.
Yeah.
Series of sounds. I mean, this could be a Brian Eno track.
When this came on at home, Kelly Martin, who's a yoga instructor, was like, "Oh, I love this.
Her
This is
ears
perfect
perked
for
up?
my-" She was
Yeah.
like, "This is good for my class."
These are my favorite moments on this album, actually. These moments in between and the moments of rest that they have make the hyperactive horns, the climactic moments of the songs.
It's the form, right? It's the balance and the form of the whole album. Every great album we've done is like. So this is Brian Eno influence, you said?
How could it not be?
Yeah.
I mean, all ambient music, I think, post 1980
Yeah.
would be. Harold Budd, another one.
You know, I think
Lots of great ambient.
this kind of stuff, a lot of people,
Boards of Canada.
they think, oh, this would be so easy to make this kind of stuff if you had the right equipment. But like
No.
the timing of like how long are you sitting is like that stuff has to be, when that's not done well, it sounds like bad AI coffee house jazz or something.
I actually don't know anything.
Coffee house ambient.
I don't know anything that's really great, which this is really great at what it is.
Yeah.
That's easy to do.
Right.
It's even things that seem. I mean, when I saw
It's
Chick,
supposed to see me. That's when you hit the next level.
dude,
right?
the first time I literally watched Chick Corea play the piano. Piano looked easy.
Right.
It did. It was like, oh, that looks
Yeah.
super easy. He's smiling. It just
Right.
he's super relaxed as he's doing it.
Elliot Kipchoge, as he finished the marathon in under 2 hours, was like
Running looks easy.
I was like, oh my god, look at that little
Go
guy.
try
He's
it.
just running.
Give it a shot. All right.
Have you seen Radiohead live? I got a couple questions for you. Should I ask you now or later?
Yeah.
You have.
Live in New Jersey in 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. It was transcendent.
So I have a couple questions from myself, but I have a couple from a friend, a mutual friend of ours.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm asking for a friend.
Go for it.
Is this record pretentious?
No.
Okay. But does it get a little bit of a rap for that?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In some circles. In some circles, it's commercial. You know.
Do you think, well, I already know how you're going to answer this, but this is, again, asking for a lot of people that would say, is this a betrayal from the work they had, or is it the culmination, or is it a departure?
Is this like Dylan Goes Electric?
Yeah.
No. A little bit maybe, but no. I think it's more like, listen, you ever been in an artistic spot where you're like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
We've all been there. I mean, you hang around long enough, you're the thing that brought you there is like not really working anymore.
Right.
You know, you're
Right,
like,
right.
what do I got to do? And that's
Right.
where like the rubber meets the road of like, well, how inventive are you?
Right.
And I think this is just Tom and the boys being like, we're going to zag.
Yeah.
You guys zig, we're going to zag and do this. And it worked for them.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, you're going to love this question.
Go for it.
This is right in your wheelhouse. This is such a love affair. You're so happy. Are you ready to just have your blood boil?
Go for it.
What genre is this?
We could say art rock. That's a good term.
Art rock.
There's so much art in this album. Tom and his artistic partner, Stanley Donwood, have done all of the art for all of the Radiohead albums, I think, from the beginning, from Pablo Honey. And this is a masterpiece of cover art and of it's not just cover art.
Oh, you're saying that's called art rock if there's artistic vision on the
this
cover?
This is art school rock.
Art
this
school,
is like
gotcha.
school for artist kids, right? Like
fancy rock. Prep school rock.
Yeah, this is not like angry mosh pit rock.
No.
This is rock for people who have been to a museum or 100. You know what I mean?
So it's not pop, even though this was a big hit.
It's a popular
hit record
album, but no,
Right.
it's not pop music
Okay.
at all. But anyway, man, when they were recording this in one of the many venues they did, apparently they had this big house, and there was a mezzanine that Stanley Donwood, the man who does all the art, had his own space, was making art for this album as it was happening, being recorded
cool.
below him.
Yeah.
And Tom is part of this. They met in art school. Tom is part of the process of making the art, although I think Stanley does a big chunk of it. But all of this from Pablo Honey, but this period of Kid A, Amnesiac, Hail to the Thief is like unprecedented. I think it's such good album art. I mean, you'll see later in my.
We're going to talk about a Cruise. I got one more question for you. Is this Radiohead's? I'm thinking about different records that we've done somewhat recently. Is this Radiohead's Sign of the Times?
Ooh.
Or maybe Black Messiah?
Yes.
We haven't done that yet.
We haven't done Black. Yes.
Or Gaucho even.
I would say this is more. That's a great question.
You know what I'm saying? Like where a lot of like really diehard fans would say like, this is finally they've gotten to who they actually are. They did great, cool stuff, but
this is the turning point. I mean, I think some people would argue OK Computer was the album before this because there's like the kernels of this, but this is when it just like fell off the cliff of just like, we're here and we're going up 100 miles an hour down the hill. You know what I mean? Like, we're doing this, really, really doing this. Yes, this changed them. I think it kind of changed a lot of mainstream listeners and turned them on to new things. I know I'm one of those mainstream listeners, and it like affected a lot of people. We've heard jazz musicians, bluegrass musicians, R&B musicians, hip hop musicians cover this already. You know, it's iconic at this point. It's legendary for sure.
Yep.
Peter, we're getting into my favorite run. Optimistic, In Limbo, Idioteque, Morning Bell. 4 songs in a row that could not be better. I mean, we've had already with Everything in Its Right Place, Kid A, the National Anthem, How to Disappear Completely, and that little amuse-bouche, that palate cleanser, Treefingers. Such a great first part of the album. But the back half of every good album that we've ever reviewed is like, I mean, remember Bad, Michael Jackson's Bad? Remember how that ends like in this incredible way? This album has one of the best ending runs of any album we've ever did, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know. I only know 1% of what you do about this record, but I actually have my Apex moment and my Desert Island tracks coming up right in this thing. So I guess I know a little something.
This is Optimistic.
Yep.
counter melody here. Brilliant.
Yeah. You can't go past 4 minutes till later.
I'll pause it here. I feel like you have
Okay.
something coming up at the end. So this is where, I was talking about Stevie Wonder and modal interchange and how this was, for me, a lesson in modal interchange as a young musician. And this track in particular, and the one after it in Limbo, first of all, to me, Optimistic and in Limbo are like Superwoman and Where Were You When I Needed You? Like which is one
Connected,
track
right.
on that. These two tracks are connected in my mind.
Yeah.
I can't listen to one without listening.
But they
to
play
the other.
right into each other.
They play
too.
right into each other.
love
They're in the
that.
same key, or they at least have the transition in the same key. But this has, the bulk of this, right, has the. So for our listeners who aren't musicians, like we're going here between D minor and D major.
Yeah. And that theme has been introduced several times on this album already. So even if you, like, it's already ringing in your ears, right?
That's not uncommon in classical music and in jazz, but is uncommon in modern popular rock music.
Right.
That it would, like, and that's not even, that's the basic version of this. They're about to get even more like all of this stuff. And this is again where sort of the Schumann comes out, the Schumann situation.
With
all the
with
inversions,
root movement.
all the root movements, that kind of like Paul McCartney-ish thing. But it's more sophisticated than any of that. And then that, which happens over these chords, Peter, this.
Woo! Yeah.
Sorry, that should have been an F sharp there. There it is.
Yeah.
It's just gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the orchestration, the harmony is so, so pretty.
Okay, I'm going to throw something out there real quick.
Okay, sure.
I think because and then I want you to get back to this. I think that I'm about to make a sweeping generalization, but I think that like European rock, pop, R&B, any kind of musicians that's doing something in the sort of popular sphere do a better job of connecting with the sort of indigenous culture there. Like like we're hearing things in like old English, like classical music, but even before that they've connected with
in their DNA.
Right. Now, there's definitely Black American music influences.
For sure, 100%.
You hear that.
There's Miles Davis, there's Charles Mingus, there's Alice Coltrane.
But in
John
America,
Coltrane.
like we've, not all the time, I mean, you can find brilliant examples of this in bluegrass and fiddle music and stuff. But in general, like we've gotten totally... we're the beneficiaries of Black American music and this culture that's affected pretty much everything great, in my opinion, that's come out of it. But like otherwise, like we got disconnected from all that stuff. All these people that are like, we're gonna play white music, but they're not going back to the great stuff from Europe or whatever. They think that they are. No. And so it got disconnected from that. And this is kind of like, it's stunning to kind of hear that connection with the popular thing on top of it.
I kind of wonder if they would even hear that. How English it feels to us, because I think when I think about
because they're not disconnected from it.
I think about English folk music.
Yeah.
But I also think about the choral tradition in English.
Yes.
Like we mentioned Benjamin Britten earlier, but there's literally scores of amazing English choral conductors, choral composers, choral arrangers.
And then you throw in, Walt Whitman and like the poetry and the prose and how you can hear it, Man. Sorry.
Anyway,
so I wasn't off base with that?
No, you're totally on base with that. I totally agree.
And I want to caveat that there's a lot of exceptions to that, of course. This is when we're looking at.
But this is why, this sort of blending of, like you said, Black American music with this sort of like island in the middle of, like off the west coast of Europe.
Yeah.
This is where like Led Zeppelin kind of has their own thing, because there's this like weird like Lord of the Rings vibe to the blues all of a sudden. You're like, what is going on? But it kind of works. It's kind of awesome. Okay, after that,
Frodo King.
I have my apex moment is also in here, but I think it's later than yours. But the next track is.
Oh, you're talking about? Okay, well, good. So both of them.
Friggin' unbelievable, my man. In Limbo.
Nice. Oh.
Turn it up.
And this is such great placement on that. Like we're right in the middle of the album, right? Like just the second half.
It is. It like splits the album.
Yeah. Yeah, 7. I mean, 7 out of 11.
The triplets against the 16.
Yeah. Second, which doesn't really reveal itself at first.
Those changes there, right?
Right. Woo! That's haunting.
I want to live here for a year.
Oh, yeah.
The sound of the guitar, too, is amazing.
The guitar and drums on this is like the most... I don't want to say organic, but like OK Computer kind of sounding,
for sure.
you know.
Look at you, talking like an expert already.
48 hours ago,
Like an OK
I didn't know
Computer
the
sound.
difference between
Look at this guy.
REM and Radiohead. Now I'm splitting them.
You want to go to Coachella?
Yes, it was last week. I do want to go. Yeah.
Great melody.
You're not playing this at Coachella, just to warn you. So a couple of good ideas fully developed and committed to for the whole... That rhythmic thing is... Man, and this mix on the headphones, like the drums are so present, but they're kind of in the back.
Yeah.
They're not as present as the vocals and the guitar. Oh man, it's so great. Have I become that guy? Oh, you gotta listen on the kids, man.
It's a great headphone
It
listen.
is.
I love this part here, the vocal thing that happens.
So much toms.
It's like they just keep restarting toms. Like it keeps rebooting.
Tom with an H.
Reboot Tom.
Okay, computer.
All right. I got to talk about it. I just got to talk about a couple things here. So what's happening here? So first of all, we've got this like 6-beat phrase of this sort of, right? That starts this track. And again, this is all kind of like in this minor Dorian thing, right? By the way, we're coming off of Optimistic, which is in the key of D with that D minor, D major. So our ears are already tuned. Like that's the thing. The band keeps prepping you.
Yes.
They keep like prepping you for about what's to happen.
And there's even prepping from earlier tracks on some of these musical concepts.
And then they go from D minor to C minor. Now, if you don't know anything about music theory, you're like, that seems like maybe D and C are close together.
Right.
But for two minor keys, it's very jarring. And then they head back to that sort of...
They're not closely related.
E minor. They're not closely related. And the way they pull it off... So this here is like this C minor, G minor over B flat, E flat major, and this sort of like E minor with the minor 6 in there with that C natural in there. And then the melody over that, it's just so haunting, like you said, haunting, and I think that really captures it. And then, but every time
foreboding too,
foreboding, and then they go back to that, every time they go back to that first section, you're just like, just like gonna groove out on it. Man,
There's
is
so much
stroke
beauty,
of genius. This track,
absolutely,
it really is.
Absolutely. This is, I actually don't have it as my Desert Island track, but I think it's. And I don't have it as my apex moment. Well, part of it is. I'm giving that away. But I think it's somewhat of the what do you call it? Like it's like the apex of the album. It's the meat. It's like the, not that there's any fall off after this, but like it kind of goes to it kind of starts to decay in a beautiful way from here to the end of the album. And like by decay, I mean it's the same thing we talk about: melancholy, foreboding, angsty.
Yeah.
I mean,
for sure.
upheaval, like all these kinds of feelings. There's beauty in that when you hit it. Like that's what I get from this record. I'm not just like, oh, this is a dark album. Like that's the most sort of trivial way of looking at it. But it's like, it's one thing to play something, to make a record that's just beautiful from beginning to end. But there's another thing to say, like, we're going to enter, like to me, this album is like such a mood. It's such a vibe. Like you're entering into something that's not as easy to make incredible and beautiful. And they nailed it.
And then they go from that to
Newsflash.
Idioteque.
Oh, I thought it was Idioteque.
Idioteque. The textures.
Yeah.
Each chord is like this different texture.
It's that combination of like very analog synth sounds and just very specific electronic.
The drums on this are insane. This is a modular synth. I think a modular synth, you know, like the synth with the wires coming out of it.
Oh, wow.
Peter, where you like, that Johnny Greenwood is working.
Man, this... Voice on this is presented totally different than anything we've heard. It's like very direct, very clear, very unaffected.
So gorgeous, dude. Like, when I hear all of this, I hear like, they did the work.
Yeah.
They went the hard route.
Yeah.
This is not, there's so much detail.
Oh, yeah.
All that stuff rattling around?
Yeah. Ice Age.
I mean, you and I are not experts in how to make electronic music like this at all. But think about how much
don't count us out, sir. Just because we haven't done it doesn't mean we
could. We could, Pete. We easily could. No, but think about how much meat there is for nerds like us, like theory nerds or people who know about chords and stuff and melodies, right? There's so much in there. There's also stuff for people who are in it for the lyrics or for the art or for the production or for the songwriting. I mean, it's all there, man.
Yeah.
The whole track is unbelievable. I got a couple of things I want to check out with this isolated because there's just so much going on Idioteque. Here's the drums. Obviously, the drums are the sort of like the meat of this. But I want to fast forward a little bit to the second verse.
That bass drum is so... It's aggressive. Like, this is the most aggressive bass drum we've gotten so far. It's high, too.
Listen to all those little details going on, though. It's like a G.
Yeah. But that's pretty high for a bass drum, right? I mean, it's like...
Very cool. And then
man, he loves the flat five. Loves the flat,
he loves the flat five.
The flat six.
Flat six.
Ooh, I love they leave that on.
Take the money, run, take the
Simply beautiful. Simply beautiful. I mean, we're really cooking now. And like you said, now we're in this home stretch of everything. Right after this, another masterpiece, Morning Bell. 5/4 here. Minor.
I wonder if Mark Giuliani ever heard this drum groove.
I think he might have. Minor to major here, A minor to A major. Again, that's more of that modal mixture that for people who don't know a lot of harmony is very, very rare. It's why it sounds so unique. It's only things that like Stevie Wonder likes to do and other like very high level, Earth, Wind & Fire, Carole King.
But they have a very unique approach to it.
They
It's
do.
very like front and center, you know, for the harmonic flow, and it's always connected with the melodic content. Remarkably cohesive album, considering how like the production is very different on a lot of these tracks.
Yeah, this is dry.
Yeah, like and he's so wet. It's different. I mean, the vocals are presented differently, but very honestly, I think on everything. The drums very different. The bass, we haven't heard the bass like this since like the third track or early on. Nice.
Skip ahead just a little bit because there's this part.
Woo!
So that part
Got
is
the kids where? We don't know what he's saying.
that part is another music nerd's paradise. This is the sort of John Williams chromatic mediant, right? So you've heard this in Indiana Jones, you've heard this in Empire Strikes Back.
I think I heard it when I was in Indianapolis as well, just in the city.
Just in the city of Indianapolis. You know, there's got the kids and I got the kid. E minor to G sharp minor. So they're a third away. They're both minor chords. Again, just very, very rare that any kind of thing that's close to popular music would even like get that deep into it.
Because it'd be scary. And then there's no like connector chord or transition or anything. Or
Yeah,
approach.
it's like exactly right. But that's how John Williams uses it too, you know. Like he'll use that in that way of just like, you know, dun 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 bop-a-doo,
Right.
but where that
like you're just going somewhere and then you're coming back.
exactly. By the way, so the next album after this was an album called Amnesiac. It came out the very next year. All the songs on Amnesiac were from these same sessions. They basically could have done a double album.
Yeah.
Amnesiac is also a banger. It is also a masterpiece. If you like this, you will love that.
Which you like better?
It depends on the day. But what's so cool about it is that on Amnesiac, they do another version of Morning Bell.
Half step.
Chromatic Mediant. So
It's half step higher. Isn't it?
no, it's a little detuned. But,
Oh, okay.
but they lean into us. I'm gonna nerd out in a set. This is
Please.
really the nerd nook here. Yeah. So
That's incredible because they did like a bunch of tracks.
Yeah.
They put this on both of them.
So did you hear the melody or the root movement on that was dun, dun, dun. In the original, it's all just on this A pedal, right? It's all just the morning bell, A minor to A major 7, morning bell. In this, you know, the A major 7 shape without the A is C sharp minor. And that's what they did on the Amnesiac version. The morning bell, the morning bell.
Oh, like a seconded version.
Which is like it's
Of the
a
C-sharp
chromatic
minor.
mediant.
Oh.
No, the C sharp is in.
No, I'm saying, but up at the top, you got.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing this. Yeah, but check it out, Peter. This is the same as that interlude.
Yeah.
Got the kids and I.
Yeah.
So it's really the same. Like they kind of changed the chord progression for the Amnesiac version. It's such a brilliant move. It's so cool. I geek out so hard and like, who thought of that?
Yeah.
Why did they do that? I don't know. Do I love it? Yes. Do I fully understand why? No.
Sue me.
I'm
and
excited. I don't know if you can tell, buddy. I'm
but it's
buzzing
also
still.
like for folks that are like, "Was C sharp minor?" I'm tuning. No, don't tune out. This is about like, what is the feeling? And your guys, like when it gets to that part, it's like, what is that human feeling that we have? That harmony. Like it's never. I mean, like we're isolating it, yes, but that's one of the elements. And everybody's just like, I'll never understand music. Hey, melody, harmony, and rhythm. And we've talked about all this today. This was kind of a lot of in terms of the elements of it. Like harmony is just. It's striking if you understand this, but I hope people are accepting as striking as it is just to hear it, because that's the most important level.
Yeah.
But when you go in and find it, you're like, oh my God, this is genius, you know. But that human feeling that it gives you is stunning.
So speaking of humanity, you know, we're going from all this electronic stuff, and they end the album with motion picture soundtrack
That's a way to get a good way to get on a movie.
with a very organic sound.
Yeah.
Sounds like that sort of like foot
Calliope.
pedal pump organ.
Pump
Calliope,
organ. Yeah.
You can hear something creaking, you know?
But they didn't play this on MTV.
Probably not. Probably not. It's so beautiful, man. It's such a great ending.
Sleeping pills, help me get back to you.
It's such a simple but epic, feel to it. It's
How many times did Stevie do this to us?
right at
In
the
the
end
album,
too.
yeah.
Where you're like you'd hear, but you're actually emotionally you're very lifted.
You're elevated.
Yeah.
I think you
It's simple.
Maybe I think you're crazy.
Let's bring some Dorothy Ashby
Harmonium.
into it.
That's what that is.
A little Dorothy Ashby. A little Alice Coltrane.
Apparently that was Johnny Greenwood on the harp.
Yeah, no,
what
it's
it
not
said.
actually Dorothy Ashby.
No, I know, but he could play harp too.
Who?
Johnny
Johnny
Greenwood.
Greenwood. Oh, wow.
Playing the harmonium. I think that's the name of the keyboard is.
Damn.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, yeah, if you get a tune at the right place, you can just keep doing that, I guess. Not to oversimplify. Shout out to all my harpist friends. Choral.
And I'm going to play right into the next track because on the original CD, which most of us got this
Yeah.
on CD, it was a hidden track.
Right.
You remember those?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they wouldn't put it on the
It
album.
wouldn't be on there, but it would.
But it's
But
a
it was
whole,
still
a whole separate
It would
track.
go right.
Yeah.
So you could fast forward to it. Yeah. I mean, you could advance to it. Was that a little half diminished in there? I think it was our first half diminished.
I can't tell you how many planes I've been sitting on. And this moment of the last track, I think this might be the most brilliant way to end an album of the last 40 years. Going from motion picture soundtrack into this untitled track. You're on a plane, you can't really hear much of what's going on here, especially with 2000 technology, non-noise canceling
Right.
headphones. And I feel like there might have been a little more space in the actual running
Oh,
up.
it didn't go right to it.
I could be wrong about that, but
Yeah.
someone put in the comments, was there more space between motion picture soundtrack and the untitled hidden track?
I love that because you used to be able to define. I remember in mastering, you'd be like,
Yeah.
how many, like 2.5 or one, or
Because it would come out of nowhere where you're almost like half asleep by the end
Yeah.
of motion picture soundtrack and you're just like, whoa.
what a gutsy move to pull that out. First of all, to pull the harp on the last or the penultimate track, to pull out a new instrument
Yeah.
and the harp at that.
Peter, what do you got? Let's do some categories. Desert Island tracks. What
I
do you
mean,
got?
everything in its right place, I think, it's an obvious choice, but like can we just play the beginning? And before we play it, I'm sorry I messed up your initial thing because I didn't know we were going to it. But I want to honor this as I think like we should do like an Academy Awards. We're gonna put on tuxes. You know, we're gonna do that this year.
Award show?
We're gonna do a little award show.
We should do a best
Do you have
of
a
the pod.
tuxedo? Because I have a Brooks Brothers
It's
tuxedo.
been a while since I've worn a tuxedo. You got a Brooks Brothers tuxedo?
I do. Yeah.
Wow.
Custom. But the thing is, I think this we've done some other albums. I think that this is one of the greatest starts to an album.
Can we back up just a second about
Sure.
the Brooks Brothers tuxedo?
Yeah.
You knew I was going to stop you on this, right?
Sorry.
That is a classic move, Peter. That's a great move. Can I just say to the audience, if you're looking to buy a tuxedo, because think about how many times you're going to
I
wear a
didn't buy it.
tuxedo. Someone bought it for you. Someone smart bought that for you. You know why? Brooks Brother, it's not trendy.
It's not trendy.
The cut is always going to be pretty
Yeah, it's gonna
conservative,
be old
straight down the
man,
mountain. And that's
but
what
you're going to be an old man one day.
I mean,
so-
unless you're going to the Grammys and
Yeah.
you want to really flash it up.
That's right.
For most events that you're wearing a tuxedo. Peter, whoever told you that is a baller.
Thank you.
That's what I'm saying.
So no, but I think that this is going to be up there if we go over like greatest starts to an album. I think this could win. This is such that, and I mean, pretend like you have go listen to this with headphones. Do yourself like it is such a vibe. I tried it on 4 different kinds of headphones. I'm not even an audiophile, my friend.
You know how many films have used this? I mean, even we just saw what's the one with Ryan Gosling that's out now? The
La La Land.
No,
oh, that's the other guy.
no, the Project Hail Mary uses this.
Yeah.
Vanilla Sky uses this. Like there's a ton of films and television that have. Sorry, I'm gonna do it again because you're right. Now I'm ruining it. I'm ruining it. Hold on.
So. Man, the 2 different times and then the menacing but beautiful bass drum, but also like the foreboding and the foreshadowing. I think it's a brilliant start.
I read in an interview when this album came out, I forget what magazine, it could have been Rolling Stone. It was probably on an airplane as I was flying back and forth from
Would
New
you
York.
used to be a pilot or something?
No, man, we used to fly more. But Thom Yorke was interviewed about this and he's like, we were driving around after the final mixing of it, listening to it in the car, like you do.
Yeah,
if you don't know, when you're mixing and mastering stuff, you tend to go out to the car, you go for a ride with it.
You got to get some fresh ears.
Hear how it sounds on the car speakers, which is important. And he's like, I was just in the back seat and it came on, I just started sobbing. And he's like, that doesn't happen every day. You know, because it doesn't happen especially when you're deep in it, working on the work. But I think even he was probably like, holy smoke, what did we do with this?
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty special.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, in a couple of minutes, you're going to hear us doing it. So there you go.
My Desert Island tracks is actually the 2 Optimistic and in Limbo.
So
the pairing of those. Well, no, they're 1 track in my mind is what I was saying.
So 2 tracks.
Okay.
Got it. Desert Island track. Well, we do say Desert Island tracks. Apex moments. Can you go to right before 4 minutes or right about 4 minutes or a little before on Optimistic, please?
So 4 minutes are right before.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Look at him. He's cradling.
So I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. But this is a good call.
Yeah. Because they haven't been on a groove like that yet, you know.
Well, and what happens after this, too?
Oh, and that's very rarely heard in this kind of music. Yeah. I was actually, when I was listening to this and I first heard, I never heard this track. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
The tempo shift. But coming out of that groove that you didn't introduce to your 4 minutes.
And the only fill on the album.
Yeah, this is not like a groovy Phil, like feel good kind of, but man. Oh,
go on, Phil.
There's another Phil. Is that Phil Collins?
Phil Selway.
But this is genius right here, what they do. It's already started, right? Oh, no, it hasn't started.
Come on, now. What's going to happen?
What? But the speeding up happened already. I missed it because I was talking over it. But this all the way to the transition to the next track.
It's funny. We rarely have the same Apex moment. This would be mine as well.
From here to
the next track.
So that we transition just to the first, just up to the. Woo!
Not only this, but then when the triplets come in.
Yes.
Because we're just like, we still have the.
Man, so you've got like 4 different grooves, like from that groove drop at 4 minutes on Optimistic up to here. Man, that's like, and you know what it is? It's like you're at remember they used to have the stage that turn, but you're in the middle and like you're seeing this, and then you're like, damn. But each one of the transitions is dope.
For me, it's one.
So that's the same thing you had.
That's exactly. I mean,
that's awesome.
It's for me one of the great moments for me in music is that transition between those 2 tunes.
Fantastic.
Do you have any quibble bits?
I mean, dark dystopian, but that's the point, right?
So I have 0 quibble bits.
Yeah.
Snomometer, what do you got?
I see you. Oh, damn, I did this at 5.
5.
But I mean, I would have thought that going into this, I didn't really have a reference point, but then I realized I was like, it's got to be a 5.
Got to be a 5.
Yep.
Accoutrements. The art on this is, I have 11 out of 10 because this is as good as art gets for an album. I mean, really, there's so much to it, Peter. There's books written about the art for this.
So this is 1 to 11 is the?
No, it's 1 to 10. That's how good it is. This is by Thom Yorke and Stanley Donwood. The cover is brilliant, but all of the other stuff that go along with it, paired with Amnesiac. They actually did a release about 4 years ago of, I think it's called Kidnesiac.
Kid Rock Amnesia.
I forget what it's called, but it's like a combination of the whole thing, and they did a whole showing of the art that they made, including the stuff that nobody had seen. But there's books and books of art that they made for this
So
stuff.
if you include all that, it goes up to 11.
I mean, it's just mind-blowing how good the accoutrements are for every Radiohead album.
It's great. I give it a 9. I mean, I just because I very rarely go 10, but
Up next, what do you got?
I mean, it's 2000. I got Voodoo. Voodoo coming right out of this, man. It's so different, but it's so great too.
You are not wrong, my friend. So again, back it up. I'm 20. I'm moving to New York. I'm walking around those streets of Manhattan. There are 2 discs. You know, I got the Manhattan Portage bag. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know, the red.
And
I got
with the little badge on it.
With the little badge on it. And I got my Discman in there. There's not enough room for 10 CDs. I probably got 5 CDs. You know what I got in there? I probably got some. I definitely have.
Thelonious Monk.
Well, I got some Monk in there. I've got some Ahmad Jamal in there. 100%. I got some Brad Mehldau in there. I might even have little Josh Redman Spirit of the Moment in there, Peter. I definitely did. But I also always had Kid A and Voodoo.
So what he means is he had 2 CDs in there, and those were the 2.
I mean, they were always in there because I was always going between those 2. I actually consider.
Can you imagine walking around New York in 2000 with those 2 on a Discman? That's my happy place.
There's nothing better. And by the way, sometimes like the jazz would get swapped out for some Pharoah Monch or maybe some Velvet Underground. You know, we're walking around, we're listening to interesting stuff. But dude, these 2 albums coming out in the same year around the same time.
Yeah.
2 things that both of them I never heard anything like. We never heard anything like Voodoo, right? We never heard a groove like that. I've never heard a bass sound like that. I never heard someone sing like that. I never heard synths played in this way on this album. I never heard sort of melancholy captured so perfectly. It was just incredible to walk around with that music in your bag.
You'd be good on both those. What do you have up next?
Amnesiac. So
you want to stay in the vibe?
I'm saying. I really want people. If you like this, go listen to Amnesiac. It's great.
We didn't do.
Is it better? What is it better than?
Oh, is it better?
Because we usually do. Is it better than Kinda Blue? I feel like that'd be a little weird. Sometimes we do. Is it better than Inner Visions? We could do that maybe.
No,
Should we do? Is it better than Voodoo?
Ooh, I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say equal again because of this time.
Okay, so equal we can say. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna say even.
Okay.
Peter, buddy.
But wait, we didn't do this. Oh no, we did that.
I think we're good.
We got everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't we have 8 categories?
This is what we got now.
I love this. Like you talk about, we're talking about this album, Kid A. It's like if you get to the end, what a great ending. What a crappy ending. Do we have 8 categories?
I don't know.
It's 7.
Put in the comments how many categories we have.
We got cut off, man.
Man, thank you for going on this journey. What do you think?
Dead air. I love this record, man. I'm a fan. Man, I'm about to go order this on CD.
I love this because it's not like you didn't like this album. It just wasn't.
I didn't know this
something
album.
that you would had.
I didn't know.
To, really.
The thing is, all this kind of stuff. If it wasn't playing on the radio or MTV or something, and I didn't have it, I didn't really hear it. Man.
Yeah, this was very, very satisfying.
Thank you, man. This was great to experience it with you.
Thank you,
and our dear listeners.
Yeah, and dear listeners, let us know what other albums in this vein you'd like us to cover because we do like this stuff too.
Yeah,
we're not just. It's not just 1972 right now.
Well, fine. Okay, computer.
Until next time.
You'll hear it.